The views, takes and opinions expressed on this show are of the host's own and do not represent the views, takes and opinions of the Main Event Mark, PWPH Wrestling Network and its affiliates. Material and sources mentioned in this episode is for general and commentary purposes only. This episode might include strong language and may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Stay safe and stay wrestle everyone. Welcome to the Main Event Mark.
I don't meant to disagree. Yun. Yeah, so welcome to your Unfiltered Tagalog Wrestling Podcast. This has been the Main Event Mark Podcast. So my name is Angelo Penera and thank you very much for listening today on the show. Yeah, if you hear me, let me know. If you couldn't, it's not my problem. But yeah, I'm doing this episode. Actually, two-part ito, no? So this will be the first part, and then second part we will talk about Backlash, which will take place tomorrow sa St. Louis, Missouri. I am really excited for the PLE, pero di ko siya mapapanood na live dahil may pasok ako nun eh. So, I'm just gonna watch it after of the PLE would start, or I'll join in progress. Kasi important din naman tong NXT na to. So, we should see what we're going to get from there, or kung ano naman yung layunin nitong mga shows na to, ay pag-uusapan natin yan on this week's episode. Before we continue, can I talk for a few minutes if you don't mind? This is very important, especially here, if you are from the Philippines. Election season is coming this Monday. So, we are going to elect 12 senators for 6-year term. Mayors, councilors, vice mayors, congressmen, governors, board members, party lists. We are electing people again in 2025, and there will be one more after nito for barangay elections. So guys, alam ko naman na napaka-importante ng election na to for most of us, because there's a lot of arguments that's happening, like the Duterte arrest, the tax that we just had previously, the Sara Duterte trial, or conviction trial, and then ano pa ba, yung criticism nila sa mga dilawan, or yung bullshit ni Amy. There's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to the election, but there's thing that we need to focus on, no? We need to focus on pagiging makatao. Isang tabi muna natin lahat ng mga alitan nyo with your family, with your friends, with your team, or kung sino-sino man. Just one day, maging makatao po tayo. Makialam po tayo. Because in one day, we can change for the better and for the worst. Kaya pakiusap po sa inyong lahat, iboto po natin ang mga karapat-dapat na iboto. At wag po natin suportahan ang mga political dynasty. Lalo na po sa mga dynastiya na alam naman po natin dynastiya talaga, no? In my case, let's talk about this few minutes lang. I am from Batangas. So, Batangas will always be into my heart, and napaka laki po ng growth ko thanks to Batangas, no? Napakalaki ng history ko when it comes to me being in Batangas, and me be part of these things in Batangas as well, no? Pero napakalaki pong disrespect if you people in Batangas are just going to be fooled by these two clowns running for governor and vice governor respectively, just for the sake of retirement in their roles, in movie roles. Parang itong vice governor, I'll name them up. So sige na nga, mag-name drop na nga ako. Si Vilma at si Luis Manzano, na mga no good politicians. Vilma, hindi ko siya ramdam sa Batangas. Lumaki ako sa Batangas, hindi ko siya ramdam. So, I could not say good things about her when it comes to her run as governor before. Mas ramdam ko pa si Mandanas. At least Mandanas, even if it's a veteran, I would say he's a veteran in his own right. He knows what's going on. And he's from Batangas in his own right. So, kung papapiliin nyo ako, kaso taga Cavite kasi ako. So, technically, wala naman dapat opinion dito Pero, ako kasi ay naiinsulto sa mga kamag-anak kong taga Batangas. Dahil ang inyong kandidato ay mga no good candidates that's believing into this quick fix situations that it might be resolved by money just for one day and for few days or whatever. Imagine wasting our taxes just for this tomfoolery. Imagine mo yung tax na binabayaran natin every day ay napupunta sa mga putang ng mga no good politicians, mga no good na tao na hindi nagtatrabaho, no effort. Magwawalis lang, magpapanggap lang na nagwawalis, magpapanggap na tao talaga. Yan na yun. Yan na yung puhunan. Just for the sake of getting money from us. And you guys are getting fooled by these people by thinking that they're going to resolve everything. And that's not a long-term period. Fix that needs to be done. At hindi ko maintindihan, why are we dealing with this? Sabi ko nga, Batanggenyo ako. So, I know my ground when it comes to this. And, kapansin-pansin din na iba yung pakiramdam ko lately kumpara nung 9 years ago or 10 years ago at least. At least today, ramdam ko talaga na may pagbabago sa Batangas. Batangas is growing. And these two no good people are just going to take advantage of that. No? Iti-take advantage lang ng dalawang to yung kagandahan ng Batangas. Kaya hanggat maaari, pakiusap lang bilang isang concerned citizen na taga Batangas, intindihin nyo kami, no? This is for our future. This is for our present future. And this is for our legacy as a province in Batangas. Ang Cavite, kasi dito ako boboto. Wala na akong hope dito sa Cavite. Sa totoo lang. If I need to transfer my registration from Cavite to Batangas, I'll do. Kasi no good ng mga politician dito. No good. From governor to mayor, no good. At least with mayor, I could see the mayor anytime. Or if we have problems when it comes to anything here in Carmona, madali makakausap yung mayor at vice. Pero yung governor na dinastiya, Are you kidding me? Hindi ba kayo nadadala? Tapos, unopposed pa yung mayor at governor. Yung governor at vice governor, unopposed. So, parang, kahit hindi ko sila iboto, wala na eh. Win na eh. Diba? Kahit hindi natin sila iboto, panalo na sila. Diba? So, di na ako magtataka na I am so disappointed that you really need to understand kasi kung paano natin iparamdam sa mga tunay na Pilipino at tunay na may pakay sa Pilipino itong mga sitwasyon na to. Yun nga, kagaya nga ng sinasabi ko, meron akong 4 candidates that I really wanted to endorse here on the show since hindi naman to kagaya nung huling election that I am still affiliated with a network. Kaya di tayo pwede mag-endorse doon. Open endorsement tayo doon. No? Dito, sa network ngayon, I can openly endorse 4 persons. No? 4 persons lang ang i-endorse ko. Para lang klaro sa inyo. No? 4 na persons lang ang i-endorse ko. Like, for real. Okay? So, this going to be it. So, I have here 4 candidates. Yung iba, dagdagan nyo na lang kung gusto nyo magdagdag. It's none of my business. Kung gusto nyo dagdagan nyo. Okay? But, I have 4 candidates that I really wanted to endorse. No? Ito yung sa tingin ko very important to say when it comes to this thing in reality, at para makita din natin kung ano ba talaga ang reality natin when it comes to this political hungry dynasties that we know we have here in the Philippines. Okay, so let me share my 4 candidates. So, one is Bam Aquino. Bam Aquino, I think he is one of the most polarizing names on the election lineup that we have. No? Accomplishments alone, alam na natin na deserve niya talaga makabalik ng Senado. Hindi naman nasasabi natin na pinabalik natin sila para lang madagdagan yung totoong opposition. At madagdagan din yung totoong may boses when it comes to reality. Hindi naman dahil didepensahan niya si ganito, didepensahan niya si ganyan. Hindi. BAM is there to protect us as Filipinos. At bago kayo mag-umpisa na political dynasty rin naman ang pinanggalingan ni BAM eh. Buhay pa ba ang mga Aquino? May Aquino bang buhay? Wala, di ba? Wala. Si Bimbi ba tumakbo? Hindi, di ba? So, it's no sense. Walang political dynasty ngayon sa mga Aquino. Pangalawa, si Kiko Pangilinan. Kiko, I voted him for 2022. I can openly share that now. Nag-decide kasi ako nung huli na last minute to. Si Kiko o si Soto. Si Soto, I think, parehas sila ni Kiko when it comes to their records, no? Pero Kiko yun na talaga. Kasi he has the ability, he has the background din, and di naman sila naglalayo ni Soto when it comes to accomplishments. And also, sa mga plano at nagawa na nila before. So, totally hindi naglalayo itong dalawang to when it comes to that. Pangatlo, I would say si Heidi. Si Ate Heidi. Let me clarify the name nga. Hindi ko tanda yung name ni Heidi. Yan to. Basta she is let me check. Let me clarify and check also. Yan, si Heidi Mendoza. So, this woman, I think she is the only woman that I'll endorse, especially. Alam nyo, she loves being transparent, no? Ewan ko sa ibang politiko dyan, pero siya yung pinaka kilala kong transparent sa lahat siguro ng kandidato dito, no? Na Heidi Mendoza, in my opinion, might be the most open candidate that we have. Aasa ba kayo sa dancer, sa host, sa circus guy, sa singer? Just for the sake of the fucking seat. Just think about this. Ang sahod ng senador, 100 per month. 100 pesos or 100,000 pesos per month. Depende pa kung may kickback agad. Tignan mo si Camille Villar, no? Bilyon na ang nagagastos. Sana matalo para masayang lahat ng pinaghirapan. That's what we are wishing. Pero yun, Heidi Mendoza is definitely the most, ano bang tawag dito? Siya na siguro yung pinaka-transparent sa, tawag dito, lahat ng nasa lineup ng candidates for 2025, no? And before we continue and revealing our final candidate na i-endorse ko openly, 20 million na Genesee yung mga unang boboto for the first time, no? And I hope that this can help us securing our fate, securing our future, securing our rights when it comes to that, no? Ayun. And then number 4, finally, let me share with you Mr. Luke Espiritu. Luke Espiritu, 2022, binoto ko to as senator. Natalo. Sayang. Pero, I think he did a really good job sharing his... wait lang. Ano to BP pala. BP pala to. Si Sir Luke, I think. No, tama ba? Na BP ang tinakbo niyan, 22. I think he is. 22. Binabawi ko. Sorry. Pero 2022, I think if it's not Lenny and Kiko, I might vote for this guy as BP. Let me verify my source. Okay. So, verify ko nga lang kung tama yung sinosource ko. Yeah. I think I got it right. Yup. Got it. Okay, tama nga. Wait, let me verify that. Okay, tama nga. Senator nga si Sir Luke. Oo, si Luke Espiritu, binoto ko rin to. Tama nga ako. Hindi ako nagkamali na sabi kanina. Pero yun nga, Luke Espiritu, regardless on that, I voted him for the Senate because I think he is that great of a open-booked senator. And sa tingin ko kasi, yung nagawa niya na ipaglaban yung mga manggagawa when it comes to their rights and also sa batas, you can trust him as senator. Yun. Meron pa tayong 8 slots. So, yung 8 slots na yun, bahala kayo. Pero, utang na loob, nagdadasal po ako sa inyo. At hari na mahawakan din kayo ni Pope Leo, no? Pope Leo XIV, na pumili kayo ng tamang kandidato. I hope, hari nawa, wag po sana kayo pumili ng mga nasa dynasty-yang kandidato. Lalo na po si Camille Villar na putang ina niya. Indeed. Sana naman pag-isipan niyo po ng mabuti mga desisyon niyo sa buhay at mga desisyon niyo in the future. Kasi yung mga desisyon niyo ngayon, kami po ang magdadala niyan in the future. Hindi po kayo. Tama? Hindi na po kayo ang magdadala niyan in the future because kami na po ang magdadala niyan in the future. It's not mainly you guys. Tama. Okay. So, let's talk about this. Can we go now to wrestling? Kasi two-parter ito. Wrestling. Let's talk about wrestling now. WWE Backlash is taking place this Sunday, no? Sunday Manila time sa Netflix if you have Netflix and you have the rights in Netflix and on the WWE network if you are from the Philippines, of course, and Peacock if you are from the United States. So, can we do a rundown of the cards na? Rundown na nga natin before we review the shows, no? Okay. So, Backlash 2025, also promoted as Backlash St. Louis, is an upcoming premium live event produced by WWE. It will be the 20th Backlash event and it will take place on Saturday, May 10th at the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri. This event will feature John Cena's first appearance at the Backlash event since 2009 and it will feature his last due to his retirement from professional wrestling at the end of 2025. Okay. Wait lang yung ilong ko. Okay. So, let's talk about Backlash. Storylines ng Backlash is pretty okay, no? Medyo may mga bagay lang na hindi ko gusto, pero even though you will understand why if we are going to review the shows. So first, Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. Medyo mahirap ito i-predict. That's for the Intercontinental title, by the way. Dom versus Penta is such a hard to predict match. We want to protect Dom because of the ano ba tawag dito? Gusto kong i-protect natin si Dom because of his run sa Judgment Day. Currently, we want to protect Penta because of the AAA partnership. So, that's two stones agad na tatamaan natin na mahirap talaga magdesisyon. Of course, we don't want to this match na mag-end into a draw, no? Di natin gusto to na mag-end into draw. So, medyo ang hirap nga naman i-predict ito. Right lang. Can I chew for a minute? Yan. So, parang ang hirap i-predict if Dom is winning. Sagasa na yung record ni Penta for the PLE. Sabagay, losing streak din naman siya. Kasi talo siya ng main niya. So, para sa akin, madali siya matalo. Pero kasi, iniingatan natin is the partnership between the WWE and AAA. So, diba? Tandaan nyo, acquisition. And next month is Backlash na or Money in the Bank na. In Los Angeles, baka nalilimutan nyo. Tapos, prior to that, may NXT, TNA, PLE for the Worlds Collide, no? Based on what I understand, Triple Mania for this year should be the last Triple Mania event magte-take place, and it might feature some WWE talents and WWE storylines. This is also based from the report given to us by the Wrestling Observer and is possibly sourced then from PW Insider. Pero yun nga, it was announced that Mysterio will defend the Intercontinental title at this Penta. Pero yun nga, kagaya nga ng sinasabi ko, na okay nang matalo si kuya mo Penta. Kasi hindi naman na siya mapapatay ng momentum eh. Kasi napatay na yung momentum niya nung nakaraang pang PLE, no? Para sa akin lang, hindi naman mamamatay agad ang momentum to si kuya mo Penta kasi hindi naman siya inapin nung WrestleMania. So that's to let you know about that. And plus, hindi naman mapapatay agad yung momentum ni Penta because he is doing a really good job and hindi din naman clean yung mga wins niya, no? Just to let you know about that. And I believe then that they should take advantage of the AAA acquisition when it comes to this thing, no? They should take advantage of that and they should let Dom be one of the factors for the AAA partnership. So that's a win-win to me. So for now, I'm going to say Dom gets the win, but I'm not going to say na Dom should retain the title until June 7 for the PLE na parating. No, I'm not gonna say that. Ang hirap sabihin nun, mahirap sabihin yun. Pero yun, this should be a fun PLE or fun show that we need to witness, no? And marami din tayong abangan for the next couple of days. Kasi masyado tayo nag-expect. Pero yun nga, tong show na to, tong PLE na to specifically, this should be a fun PLE if you're asking me about it. Kasi, alam mo, WWE never disappoints on pay-per-view. So, that should be a fun pay-per-view na aasahan natin. Pero let's continue nga with our predictions. So, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest. So, Damian Priest and LA Knight are feuding for days now. So, it's kind of obvious that he's not going to win. So, Drew is starting to distance himself from Damian because of that win at WrestleMania. So, it's kind of obvious based on our math that Jacob is retaining for the United States title. Okay? Then, kagaya na sinabi ko sa previous episodes ng pod, I hope this match will only last 20 seconds. Okay na yung mahabang commercial about this match, but I hope this match will only last 20 seconds. And we're talking about Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Yun. So, I hope this match will only last 20 seconds and Pat McAfee is going to lose to Gunther. I can assure you that. No? Okay. So, last thing that we need to talk about. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Lyra's growth when it comes to her character, and mas pag-uusapan natin yun na mas mahaba during our review episode. Naramdam natin yung growth ni Lyra Valkyria, no? Ramdam natin her presence, her charisma, ramdam natin to. Kumpara nung last year when she won the belt, mas ramdam natin si Lyra Valkyria ngayon, no? It might be a factor na kaibigan niya kasi yung ka-feud niya or mentor niya kasi yung ka-feud niya. Siguro it's a factor din. Pero it doesn't really matter now if it's a companion or not. It doesn't really matter now because Lyra Valkyria is going to make sure Becky Lynch will work out or she will compete and work for this match versus Lyra Valkyria. No? That's what I can assure. And for this, I'm going to say that Lyra should win the match. Main event, John Cena versus Randy Orton. This now being advertised as the last one last time match between those two people. This match should not be the last time. Knowing how WWE is ruining their tagline promises for years now, and I hope this will break that tradition, no? Pero I hope there's no Travis Scott this time around. because we don't need, hindi naman sa hindi natin kailangan si Travis Scott dito, pero we don't need this to be a running gag for every Cena match, no, na makukuha natin from him on this run. Sinasabi ko nga na we should not get what we want kasi hindi yun ang gusto niya at hindi na rin yun ang susundin niya just for you guys. No, Cena wants to compete for his own favor on the time that he wants and the premise that he wants. So with that premise alone, I think there's a bullshit happening on the match between Cena and Orton. If it's not Travis Scott fucking up the whole thing, then there should be a new feud coming for Mr. Orton. Tama? Kung hindi naman, pero imposible kasing manalo si Orton. We know that the PLE is in his hometown, but I have a lot of doubts to see him win. Again, I love Randy Orton, but I don't think he's winning the belt at Backlash. Prove me wrong if you think my take is stupid. Pero yun nga, sobrang ang ganda kasi ng run na to so far ni Cena. Bawasan lang natin yung medyo obvious na Rock BS, because that's a different story to talk about. Pero so far kasi Cena is growing on me again as a heel, and it works for people that he should run as a heel. And yung emotion natin na hindi nararamdaman before ni Cena, this will directly affect him on the long run when it comes to this run as a heel. And it should be also a factor to see how people may react or how people should react on this current run of John Cena as a heel. But again, we are hoping that this should be a fun match. I'm not hoping that this should be an interesting match, because the only interesting match, or the only interesting match on the card that I can share, to be honest with you, is the Intercontinental title for the women's. Other than that, I don't think it's an interesting card. To be honest with you guys, Orton versus Cena is really interesting only mainly because it's the last time, and we know the shenanigans Cena can bring to the table, and we know he will, and we might see some bullshit again that's supposed to happen again. Just to recap my predictions, it should be Fatu, then ano pa ba, wait lang, check ko yung ano ko, Fatu, Dom, Pat, Gunter, Lyra Valkyria, and Cena. According to Fightful, i-cycle nga natin tong free news na binigay ni Fightful, so para makapag-react tayo ng on the spot, no, sa cards na to. So si Fightful nag-email sa atin ng information that Jey Uso versus Logan Paul is being penciled for Saturday night main event for May 24, for the weekend ng Memorial Day weekend. So that is being penciled for Double or Nothing. So we are going also to run down this card or this information that was given to us if it's necessary to run down. Pero I think there's nothing naman. Okay, so that's my predictions for Backlash. Let's talk about some news in the wrestling world. So El Grande Americano is now the new WWE Speed Champion. He defeated Dragon Lee, and if you are noticing the pattern here, El Grande Americano is undefeated currently in the television. So We should see this continue until June 7 sa parating na AAA NXT WWE PLE na Worlds Collide, no? It shows that the El Grande Americano gimmick works. It's very effective, and we hope that we can see more of that, and I hope that it will progress pa into a worse feud that we can see. We know it's only 1 week to build if you are from NXT, pero seriously, WWE needs to build this PLE na, kasi medyo lumalapit na yung PLE eh. As Money in the Bank pa pagkatapos nito, no? So they should take advantage of the build-up period na ibibigay nila for the whole people, and especially na June 7 ng Money in the Bank. And I think, in my honest opinion, we only have 3 episodes of Raw, 3 episodes of SmackDown, or 4 each. Tapos may Saturday night's main event pa. So basically, magkukumpulan lang lahat, no, ng mga sequence or mga sitwasyon na makikita natin all throughout the cards. I'm not hoping for the best card, but I hope we can see announcements about the cards, no, down the line. And I hope we can see a progress there to see paano nga ba magpo-progress. For example, si Logan Paul as a wrestler, no? Then he will take the advantage for Money in the Bank. Then down the line, itong Money in the Bank should be taken advantage then kung sino yung mga matatalo for the matches at Backlash, diba? Ganun naman talaga dapat ang Money in the Bank. Parang we are building the storyline further. Tatawa nga ako. Actually, naisip ko nga, baka si El Grande Americano yung manalo ng Money in the Bank. Oh God. Pangit ang iniisip ko. Share ko mamaya. Pero tangina, ina-imagine ko, El Grande Americano is going to win Money in the Bank in Los Angeles. That might be a big nightmare. Oh my God. Pero yan, i-rundown nga natin yung mga nangyari sa Raw and SmackDown before we end this episode, no? Ito. We have Raw. So, Raw this week is a little bit small, no? Tutusin. So, medyo may konting hype lang kumpara ng mga nakaraang episodes. So, Paul Heyman interrupted Jey Uso. So, he's looking for Logan Paul. Then, we had Paul Heyman. So, basically, he said that he justified his actions. Then, ano pa tawag dito? Tapos, parang pinod over niya si Braun Breaker at saka si Seth Rollins. No? And we said that he is going to win the World Heavyweight title, which is Seth Rollins needs for the power and the control it brings. So, Heyman officially challenged Uso in behalf of Seth, and he accepted for later tonight. Then, parang sobrang interesting kasi nung story na nadala dito, out of the table, that we know that's kinda odd to see paano ba mag-work out tong story between Bloodline and at this point, Seth Rollins, no? Yes, that's very interesting to see paano niya mabubuklat yung kwento, and also parang nilapag niya na din yung mission statement ng buong stable na to ni Paul Heyman. Basically, that's the case there. And kung di rin naman siya mananalo, at least alam na natin yung agenda, no? At least alam na natin kung ano yung premise nila, kung ano yung gusto nilang gawin, kung ano yung gusto nilang plano for the whole show. We know the premise because we are being informed. This is what I want AEW to give to us. This is what I want AEW to actually give to us as viewers. Mga bano kasi yung mga nagsusulat sa AEW. Kaya hindi ko maintindihan why in the flying fuck are we getting this random bullshit. that we are expecting, pero di na rin ako magugulat, no? Pero we will tackle more of that when it comes to WWE, because we will talk about WWE more here on the podcast. So, I just noticed a few things that I need to talk about also, kasi it's very important then to say that ang daming ang daming pa-eksena nitong WWE lately when it comes to this idea. Paano ba ang tamang premise for this talents? Paano ba ang tamang tamang term? Tamang pagpaplano? Tamang pagpaprano? Or tamang pagbibigay ng ganong ideya? Or ano ba yung dapat natin i-expect when it comes to the perspective that we should get, at hindi dapat yung pang short term, 'di ba? Hindi dapat yung pang short term, and we should get a better time looking into it instead of finding out the reality that's on us. So, Penta versus JD McDonagh. This was a really good match. Sa totoo lang. Sobrang, mo yon, Finn Balor is teasing himself a lot on his teammates that he is going to leave the Judgment Day. This was teased a lot of times in this year's alone, no? This year pa lang, ang dami niya ng beses tinis yun. And lahat ng yon ay puro fake outs, 'di ba? So, di na rin ako magugulat if this thing that he is doing now is also a fake out, just to see how Penta might react, or how we should be given to the talents, or kung paano nga ba magre-react si Penta, no? Pero it's very given din naman kung paano nga ba dapat natin mapa-explain sa kanya yung mga gusto nating ibigay, just for the sake of the perspective that we should expect from the guy himself. Hindi yung puro tayo ganito, puro tayo ganyan, puro tayo pa-explain when it comes to the perspective that was given to this guy from time to time. But it doesn't mean that they should exceed our expectation if it's given, 'di ba? Pero it's very necessary din naman tignan if our point of views is really making sense when it comes to dispute of the Judgment Day. So that's why it really makes sense. Now, if we're going to pit both of these people out of the equation for the Judgment Day to implode properly, this should be it. We should let Dom shine. We should let Finn Balor shine on his own right. And for the sake also of having this events na magkakaroon tayo for the WWE, I hope they can also take advantage of that for this situation, diba? We love the WWE for them taking advantage of this type of situations that it should be taken care of, no? Pero Penta and JD, I think they did a really good job there. Sheamus defeated Austin Theory. So again, they're teasing yet another split. Then, Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch face off. I think ito yung sinasabi ko, Becky Lynch is really there to put Lyra over, and Lyra is taking advantage of that really well and stepping up, of course, to the plate of Becky Lynch. Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez. I think this is such a really good match too, that we should look forward. Like what we said, Julia and Roxanne are a united unit that we can actually make sure that Io and Rhea Ripley will set themselves. Then, parang kita din natin yung equation, like what we said. she is now the standard bearer of the WWE. And grabe yung pinapakita ngayon ni Roxanne Perez. Even that she is losing the match, no? Even that she is losing the match, Roxanne Perez is really giving us a run of her money. And we love it for her. And I hope we can see more of her of that. Otis versus Rusev. We are getting treated here really well. So that was really good. And Otis, in the other hand, alam mo yon, parang iba yung parang pakaramdam, no? Na this is very different than the usual. Pero Otis is Otis, man. I love Otis. Then Rusev, very given. It's just there. Matcha. Yan, Pat McAfee Gooder. Gaya na sinabi ko doon sa friends, I hope this will only last 20 seconds. I hope this will only last 20 seconds. Nothing more, nothing less. I am serious when I'm saying this. I hope this will only last 20 seconds. This will only last 20 seconds. I hope so. That this will only last 20 seconds. Then, but like what I said, Gunther is haunting Pat McAfee. It's giving him threats that on Sunday he's dead. Yan lang yan. Then Gunther versus Jay is meant to happen para naman based on what we are receiving. They just don't want it to be confirmed because maraming ma-upset. Pero the match was really good, no? This is basically a continuation of what we had at WrestleMania and just involving Jey Uso. And the other hand, Logan Paul, his pursue kasi medyo sumasapaw din in the picture in the way that it's very needed on the picture that we are looking accurately when it comes to this current story ni Jey Uso as the WWE champion. And we love it when it comes to this perspective that we should see between both of these two. Pero yan, this Backlash card, kagaya ng sinasabi ko, is a small card, parang in your house. Pero they tried their best, for sure. Lyra and Becky, close second for trying then to keep us the hype of this show. Then they gave us also the perspective. Pero match of the week ko dito sa show na to should be the Lyra match, no? Lyra match was really good. And Roxanne versus Io Sky was really good too. Really good. And her in its own right. Pero yun lang muna. Since this should be a predictions episode, we will talk about SmackDown the next episode for our preview. And then yun lang yun. We will talk about more on our review for Backlash PLE in the next couple of days. Follow the podcast on all of the social media platforms at Main Event Mark PW and on PWPH Select. You can support me also following all of the social media platforms at AG Penera on Twitter and on X. Also, Twitter and X, Instagram and X. And then please follow also Dexcon for their upcoming show May 18 sa Brawl Pit Blues and Dexcon Dakila with the headline Jake De Leon and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Fabio Makisig and El Fantasmo. And they might get the chance to bring the belts that they are going to have at Resurgence if they are able to beat the respective opponents on that event. So, follow the podcast again on social media at Main Event Park PW. We will see you guys in the next episode. We will talk about more of wrestling this week on the pod. And stay safe, stay reso. Again, my name is Angelo Penera. Bye for now. I hope you have a great day. ayun nga,